Hello, welcome everyone. Hope you're doing well and looking forward to a strong last session to day 3. Some of y'all have really cute Bitmoji profile pictures when your cameras are off. I like seeing this. The real pictures when your cameras are off are cute too, but it's fun. Hey Claudia, welcome. If others want to share in the chat where you're calling in from, that'd be great. I did this yesterday in one of the sessions I was moderating. I'd love to see how many sessions you've attended so far, if you can remember your total. It might be too many. I can see Suzanne's like, I don't know. I think this is our, let's see, this is our 18th session of the week, I think. Yep. So awesome. Andrea looks like she's been in about 2/3 of the sessions. Louisa, great. Number 2, that's great. Marina, our fearless presenter this afternoon, this is her second presentation. So you might have attended yesterday and just couldn't get enough and had to come back and learn from her again.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Awesome. Fabiola, I grew up in Union County. Great to see you calling in from there. Andrea, I couldn't agree more. I have just loved every single session I've attended, and the ones that I haven't attended, I can't wait to watch the recordings when they're available. So awesome. If you're able to turn on your cameras, we love to see faces, but if you can't, we understand. Deanne, you might have to teach us how you do these little icons. How do you get these? Like, I want the wave and the flag. I don't know how to add those into my chat. I'm wondering if you had to load something special in. I might have to tag Tian in a discussion later and figure out how she does that. Spice up my Zoom chat. Great to see everyone. Love seeing where you're calling from and how many sessions you've attended so far. It's awesome. I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes before we dive into some reading and writing remotely. Jill, welcome. So glad you're here for your first session.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Good. One of our staff members just let us know that the United We Teach hashtag is trending in North Carolina. Big things. So if you've been tweeting, keep it up. It's very exciting. Welcome, Laverne. We love creating the platform for all of our teachers to share their brilliance. So glad you've been enjoying it, Marie. Welcome, welcome. Okay, well, it is 3 o'clock Eastern time, so we are going to kick off our last session of the day with the lovely Marina Hernandez. To get us started, I've seen some people have attended over 10 sessions this week. Some people, this is your very first session, and we are so excited, no matter how many you've been a part of so far. To start us off, just want to say, if you're able to turn on your camera, that's great. We'd love to see your faces. I love to scroll through and see how people are reacting to the learning. But if you need to keep your camera off, that's fine. We do ask that you stay muted so we can hear Marina's presentation very clearly. And I'll pass it over to her in just a few minutes, but in case you are new here and have not heard this yet, just want to share a little bit about Participate Learning. My name is Katie Turnbull. I work with Participate Learning as a manager of professional learning and culture, and we as an organization are committed to uniting the world through global education. And so we started doing that 30 years ago when we brought international teachers to teach in K-12 schools for up to 5 years, and over the years as a company, we've evolved and expanded to dual language education and global education programs, although all of our international teachers are cultural ambassadors wherever they come from. And we are so excited to create this stage for our international teachers to share all that they've been learning through these times of remote learning as we work together to prepare for this very different beginning of a school year. So we are excited that you are here with us. I don't want to take up any more of Marina's time, so I'll share some closing tidbits at the end of the call about how to stay connected if you are new to the United We Teach community and space. But for now, I will pass it over to Marina so we can dive into promoting reading and writing in remote virtual spaces.
I'm going to unmute this. Okay, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Well, like, you know, my beautiful Kathy said, my name is Marina Hernandez. I am from Mexico. I teach Spanish. Let me share my screen with you so that you can take a look. Okay. So I work at Rocky River Elementary School. I work as a first grade teacher. Well, actually, I will be working as a second grade teacher now. I was informed last year that I was going to be moving with my same students now to teach in second grade. So I am excited because I know the families, I know the children. So even if I don't know the curriculum, well, I know the families and the children, which is amazing. So just, I included here, you know, my contact information, and also I invite everybody to connect, oh my goodness, to connect with me and other presenters and other Participate Learning fellow teachers and, you know, everyone, so that we can keep this conversation going. So my topic is ways to promote reading and writing through a virtual classroom. Why I decided to present this? Well, because I have been noticing that while I was teaching in the regular classroom, many times students were not very happy, when it was time to read or to write. They didn't have lots of ideas, or maybe they just didn't feel engaged about it. So I started promoting reading and writing in my classroom, in the physical classroom, through different activities. And now that we moved into the virtual world, I just transferred those activities, but in the real, like in the virtual classroom. So let me share them with you. So the objectives for today are only 5. Why reading and writing, creating simple goals. We are going to be talking about how to include reading logs and how to obtain book reports from your students, how you can embrace technology, and some helpful tips on how to organize your virtual classroom. So, why reading and writing? So as you will be checking, my presentation, these are some things that I am including in my virtual classroom. So you can take a look about how I organized it. And you will check all the tips later. So I am really enthusiastic about Stephen Krashen. I follow his research and I have been reading about him for several years. I really like all his findings. So according to Stephen Krashen, people acquiring a second language or any language that you want to add besides your mother tongue, you have the best chance for success through reading. So reading is very, very important. Why? Because reading improves vocabulary. When we read, we usually come across many new words that maybe we have never heard of, maybe that we don't understand very well. So when we learn those new words, those new phrases and writing styles, we are learning new ways of communication. And so for children, it is the same. This is why it is very, very important that they developed the reading habit, because by reading, those new words will be added to their vocabulary, and therefore they will learn from them, and eventually they will start using them in context, and they will create sentences, and later on, paragraphs, complete paragraphs. Why reading and writing? Well, because you can have a better comprehension. Children who are, encouraged to read, they have better comprehension of things around them. They develop smart thinking abilities and they become more creative. The more you read, the more imaginative you become. So this is why it's very important to promote reading in your virtual classroom, because it also develops critical skills. One of the primary benefits of reading is the ability to develop critical thinking skills. For example, when you read a book, it can be a novel, a chapter book, a magazine, or just an article, anything that you wish to read, that will help you to sharpen your mind. You have to think about all the elements that will be included in the reading. You are going to pay attention to the story, to all the elements. Maybe you are going to analyze what the characters are trying to, what the writer was trying to tell you when he introduces the characters. You're going to pay attention to the setting, to the events of the story, the ending, and maybe you can even change the ending, give a possible different ending. So by doing all this, you are sharpening your mind. You are using your critical thinking skills, and this is what we normally do on a daily basis. You use your critical thinking skills to solve a problem, to find a solution. You solve the problem, you think about it, and then you find a solution. So the more you read, the deeper your understanding becomes, and what you are reading or researching, it is going to be more understood by all the words that are adding into your vocabulary. And this is just impossible to be obtained by just watching TV. Just reading shapes your mind. So it's very important that we promote this with our children. And it also improves writing skills. Reading helps you become a better writer, because through reading, you are introduced into a world where words are the main objective. So when we introduce children into this world, they become more organized, their ideas are better organized, and they are happy when it's time to writing. So it helps them express their ideas better, and they start communicating all their thoughts they start to transfer them into paper, into words, or into the different apps that you wish to use for them to transmit their writing. I will show you some apps that I use in my classroom so that you can see how they send me their writing samples. So you can also learn at your own pace. When children have a book in their hands, they are able to read the book several times, as many times as they want to. They can even read again one of their favorite parts, or just for fun, or just to check for understanding. So they do it at their own pace. We don't have to rush them. Their mind is free to understand things according to their own pace. So it's important that you always provide children with a book or with different options so that they choose one of them and just let them read. And reading also improves focus and concentration. When we are surrounded by, nowadays we are surrounded by too many distractions. The internet, our telephone, too many things to do at the same time. For example, in 5 minutes, many of us are able to multitask, right? Maybe we can check an email and then talk to the person next to us. Maybe we can check with our eyes what is happening around, the place where we are. So too many things at the same time in just 5 minutes. But actually what this is causing is a lot of stress. We are not letting our mind just to concentrate in one single thing. So when we promote reading and writing just for 15 to 20 minutes every day, we as adults, if we promote that as adults, we are the example. So when we promote that and we show that we can do it, our children will be more than happy to do it. And I don't know, just start practicing it. Just read 15 or 20, from 15 to 20 minutes every day without any interruptions, without checking your phone or other things. And you will see that your concentration is going to improve. You will feel more concentrated in the things that you are doing, but also your level of stress are going to lower. It's incredible how important reading is. And finally, because it develops emotions and improves your memory. So when we read a book, we are reading the writer's message. We are just checking what he or she is trying to tell us, but we also acquire all those words into our own thinking. We create new thinking. So by keeping track of the characters, or the setting, all the events, the ending, we are improving our memory. By keeping track about all this is helping our brain to develop, and well, we have to respond to it in different ways. And by doing this, we are also showing our emotions. And maybe if we go deeper into the text, we are going to experience what the characters are feeling within that text, or what the writer is trying or was trying to communicate. So let me show you now. So this is objective number 1, why reading and writing. So you need to create simple goals when you are going to organize your classroom. Let me go back to the last one. So I work with first graders. My goals need to be simple. So you have to think about the age of your students, about the time frame that they have of attention according to their age, and that's how you need to start planning. We don't want we don't want them to feel stressed. So I told you that I am a follower of Stephen Krashen. So he says that the only theory in education that has never disproven is that we get better at reading and writing by reading and writing. If we want to improve reading and writing, well, we have to read. So set simple goals. Think about, the needs of your students and start building the lessons according to their needs. We always need to check what their needs are, and it's incredible. Every new year we have new students, and we wish to start planning from previous lessons that we have already been teaching, but unfortunately we have to start all over again. We have new people, new students, and we need to check their needs. It's starting all over again, but I don't know, I just love education because this is there. Every school year there's something new, and there are new ways to find new possibilities for the students and also for ourselves, the teachers. How can you create simple goals? Organize word walls. If you are in the physical classroom, by organizing vocabulary on the wall, it's a good way for them to visualize the words and to use the vocabulary in context and eventually send in paragraphs. But if you are in the virtual classroom, just set a virtual classroom just with a word wall so that they are able to look at the words and to use them according to the way you want them to use them. Anchor charts. This is very important that you construct them with them. Now it's difficult because you are going to be working from home, but if you create like a mini video at the beginning before your lesson of making the anchor chart, and then you just take a picture and upload it into your virtual classroom, that will be so meaningful for the students. Sometimes we forget that we have to start all over again. We just fold the anchor charts from the previous years and we just present them to our students the next school year. So that is not meaningful for them. That doesn't have the same meaning. You need to construct, to start writing or making the anchor chart one more time. They have to look at you. It's easier for you just to grab the anchor chart that you created the previous year, but the meaning is not going to be the same. They have to see you. You are the example. You are promoting. So by you promoting this, they are going to be more encouraged to do it. And then you can take the picture and just place it in your virtual classroom, just the way you do it in your physical classroom. Letters and letter sounds. Well, as I told you, I teach first graders, so I use this el monosílabo. It has different lessons, They include words, sentences. It's kind of fun for the students, and this is a way for you to create your word wall. I just record what I want to tell them. For example, later on I will show you the apps that I use to record my lessons and the apps that I use to present my lessons. So in this case, I recorded this ABC by using Loom. So they have the instructions, and then later on, when they listen to the instructions, they are going to look at the word and they are going to listen to the word, and then the next part will be writing, about some of these words. Okay, so I'm going to let you listen to it just a little bit. A como abeja, abeja. B como barco, barco, barco. C como cama, cama. Como chaqueta, chaqueta. Okay, etc., etc. So this is this is something that you can do in your virtual classroom. When we were talking about word walls, so this can be part of your word example. And then, el monosílabo, they just have to click here, they listen to the sounds, to the words, they build words. That's why here in the ABC, I was dividing by syllables, because in el monosílabo, they divide by syllables the words, and they put them together, and then they show them in complete sentences. So this is a fun way for the students to just start transferring all these words into their new vocabulary and writing new things. Conventions. So simple goals. One will be conventions. I usually tell my students to choose their favorite color and to highlight the capital letters and the periods, the punctuation, commas, periods, etc. So I have been noticing that even my first graders, they can identify very well when they are forgetting a capital letter, when they are missing a period. Why? Because they are using their favorite color. I don't tell them, okay, you have to use red or blue. Don't. They choose their color. Their notebooks are very colorful, but it's helpful for the eyes. According to my research, when you use different kinds of colors, it helps you organize the ideas in your mind. It is like creating a mind map. So it is very important that you let them choose, and like this, they are responsible of their own learning. They are constructing through their learning, and they will never forget. These first graders will continue in second grade, third grade, and they will never forget about when to use capital letter, periods, etc. So you can also include this in your virtual classroom. You can, like I did here, just find a picture over the internet and include it so that they remember. It's a reminder for them. Okay. So how to
Okay, I think Marina might be having a minute of connection issues, so we'll give Marina, are you back with us? Okay, looks like she had a minute of disconnection, so let's just wait just a second and hope that she's able to log back on. But I saw some great things in the chat about other ways that y'all are already thinking about how to make connections.
I'm sorry, I think my
Okay.
internet was
No,
not.
you're totally fine.
What was the last part that you were hearing?
We saw we saw the page about reading logs, but then it froze. So we didn't get to see the reading log actually starting.
Okay, perfect. So it's okay. You didn't lose that much. Oh my goodness. Well, this is the real world. This happens.
It is, isn't it?
I am so sorry. Okay.
You're totally fine.
So let me just go back there.
There have been a lot of people admiring your Google Slides, Marina. So impressed with all of the different, it feels like you're in a classroom looking at these.
Oh my
It's so
God.
great. And I love you even have the little recycling box there. It does create that feeling like we're all in it together. It's very pretty.
Yeah, so while I go back to my slides, I don't know if you can start reading some of the things in the
in the chat. So one thing I was noticing, I think Amina, I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly, but I appreciated all that you said about the other ways that you like to use word walls. You said you use word walls, you use the daily journals, instrumental music during free write. Those were some great suggestions. So thank you for sharing those.
Okay, now you can see my screen one more time.
Yes, looks
right?
like we're back in action.
Okay, I'm really sorry.
You're fine.
All of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, I don't see anyone moving. Okay, so just embrace technology. Many times, we as teachers are afraid to use technology. I've heard from different fellow teachers in my school that they were not very happy of, working from home. They were hoping to go back to the classroom because they didn't even use technology before. Many of them didn't even send emails to their parents, which was kind of surprising. So it is very important that we embrace technology, and for children it's normal. They are the millennial people. It is us, the adults, that are afraid of it. For children it's normal. Whatever you present to them virtually, they are able to do it. So these are my favorite apps that I use when I teach and when I prepare my lessons. There are too many, but these are like my favorite ones that I always use because I want to keep it simple for the students and also for the parents. So let me show you what I do in.
Marina, I'll tell you, feel free to go through the technology piece, but we're getting a lot of requests for you to go back to reading logs when you can get a chance. So if you want to do technology,
yes,
and then you don't want to miss that.
That is my next slide.
Okay, great, great.
Yes. So I just, oh my goodness, this is loading, okay. So just embrace technology. It is very important for students to continue to read and write, speak and understand their home language. Remember, that is the basis, is the foundation. So through that, they are going to start constructing, other ideas, other languages, other words. So it doesn't matter the language that they read in. If they want to read in English, that's fine. If they want to read in Spanish, that is fine. If they want to combine both of them, that is okay. I have heard so many people that tell their students, like, you cannot read in that language. You are only allowed to read in this or in this language. So no, we need to let them free and they can choose. This is very important. Like this, they are going to be eager to read, and then they are going to choose the language that they wish to read. So these are the favorite apps that I told you about. Don't panic. I know that there are some of them that maybe you have never heard of. Maybe you have not. But the good thing is that through Participate, we created different tutorials, and you will be able to take a look at those tutorials, and they are very simple. All of these that I use here, you have the tutorials. You just have to click on Participate on the Tech Tools tutorials, and you can take a look at all of them, and they will teach you how to use them in your classroom, in your lessons. I use CISO to obtain the written pieces from my students, and I also prepare my lessons, and I submit them through CISO. Quizlet, I use Quizlet to also promote writing in my students. Chatterpix, well, they use it to create funny mini videos because it only lets you record for about 60 minutes, but it's okay. What I want is to listen to them producing what they are reading or what they wish to tell me. And Flipgrid is the same, recording. Raskits is another way to promote reading. Kahoot, you can promote reading and writing through Kahoot. Epic, you can find books. BrainPop, it's really nice because I can introduce some of my lessons with that. Loom, I use Loom to record my videos and to give some samples, the same as Screencastify and Bitmoji, well, to create my virtual classroom. So I know it's a lot, but a combination of all this is what creates, like better things for the students. So finally, how to organize your virtual classroom. Here you are going to look at different examples on how I use the reading logs and the book reports in a fun way. And children are very, very excited all the time. I always try to create the classroom according to the way it was in the real life so that they can feel like it is the real classroom and they actually feel like they are in the classroom. So the tip that I want to give you is that just try to make it look kind of real, add details. I spent a lot of time creating these presentations because I was like, okay, I am going to add here a book or a pencil or something so that it looks kind of real. Children are very intuitive and they observe everything. They pay attention to every single thing. So if you want to get better, just listen and read, listen and read. So one way for you that you can do in your virtual classroom is to present different kinds of books. I told you earlier why promoting reading and writing, and you need to let them choose. You give them several options, and remember, you are the example, you are the leader. If they see you, they are going to be willing to do it. So that's why I always put a book next to the teacher. In this case is this one. And I created links. If you click on each one of these books, it will take you directly to the link and the students will be able to listen to it or to read it. So this is a way that you can do it just by find a picture of the book, include it in your bookcase, and hyperlink it to the book that you're going to choose or to present. But always remember to include yourself with a book. You are the leader and the promoter of reading. Sing-alongs are a great way to promote reading because they will be singing their favorite songs, but they will also be singing along with the songs. So if you click on each one of these links, they will be able to listen and they will sing and they will also be looking at the words. So this is one way for you that you can use to promote reading with your students. I told you earlier in the previous slide that you can include the book and just hyperlink it, or you can put it here in a small so that they can click on it. So this is another way. I I like to give them a variety. I don't usually present the same things every day or every week because children get bored. I usually present different options. Maybe one week is just a book and they have to click on it. The next week they see it differently, just with a little square. So I just give them several options so that they don't get bored and they see that, you know, we are doing some different things. So these are the apps that I told you I normally use with the students. And El Monosílabo, they love it because it's a way for them. It goes from very simple words and letters until like up to very like complex sentences. So I just put it like, it looks like a smart board. So they just click on it and they are able to listen, to watch. Sometimes I tell them to write down some of the words that they are listening from the monkey, to create sentences with those words. So it is very fun for them, and they don't know that they are actually writing because they are doing it in a fun way. Okay, so this is a way that you were talking about book reports and reading logs. This is another option that I give them. I tell them the instructions, read the book, My Way, a mi manera is right here, but they have to do something extra. This is a bonus activity. I say bonus so that students know that it will be something extra, but actually they always do it. Why? Because the teacher is doing it. The teacher has an extra book and it says, ¿Qué libro leo yo? What book am I reading? So when I send them the instructions in my Canvas course, I always tell them, okay, that is an optional activity, but they usually do it. Always. They are excited because they are curious about the book that the teacher is reading. So instead of asking them to read one book, they end up reading 2 books, which is amazing. And so they have to click after reading the book. They have to click on the book. They will take a look at the book. They read it. Okay, let me give you an example so that you can look. So that you can look at the way the students see it. So this is the book.
La oruga muy hambrienta. Al claro de luna.
So they read, they listen to the correct pronunciation, and then they have to click here to respond to that reading. I create, you know, my activity according to the book. Since I am promoting reading and writing, they have to write their full name, not only Juan or Luis, no, complete name and last name. And they also have to write the complete date as a sentence. It is so amazing, everybody, like when the administrators visit my classroom, when they are writing, they are like, oh my goodness, they even write the date complete. Like, oh yes, lunes, and it's a very long sentence, and they are able to do it. So they are required to do it because they know how to do it, and then they start, you know, solving the 5 or 6 questions. In this case, I created how many? 7 questions that I created for them, and they just have to choose. This is one way, like multiple choice option, or this one. I think this is different. Here they have to,
My way, a mi manera.
They have to read the book. So here they have to click on the book, and here they have to click on here. Well, now I'm not going to make it like big, but you know the idea. And then they have to respond to that book in the same. I usually like to add like something on the top part of my Google form so that they connect with the book. Sometimes, you know, children receive their Google forms. At the beginning, I didn't do it like that. I was just sending just regular Google forms, and I noticed that many of them didn't even respond. So if you create your Google form, you know, nicely with colorful and like this, you include some of the characters, they are happy and they are eager to respond. So you're going to spend a little bit of more time designing your materials, but I think it's worth it. You're going to receive much more responses from the students, and parents are super happy to see how their children are so excited about their classes and everything. So one more time, they need to put their full name and the complete date, and you know, in this case they have to write complete sentences. They have to describe the characters, why those children are different, and why they have to give their opinion. If they are different, how come they are friends? Okay, and they submit their form. I received their form, so they get excited about this. Another option that you can do, just find the characters, you know, and just put them. You don't have to include so many. I just added this for the presentation, but I don't present all these stuffed animals in the regular virtual classroom because there are too many, and children are going to click on each one of them. So I just created them for you to see that there are different examples. Children love stuffed animals and they always make a connection. So this is another creative way that you can present the book to them. They just have to click on one of the stuffed animals, and then immediately the book is going to appear on a different tab, and they are, you know, they are usually very happy to see that. And they start reading the book, they have the words, they can listen to it, etc. So the same happens with the other characters. You can create a hyperlink, or here with this one, just put the link next to it. So I always, as I told you, I always create different ways to present it so that children don't get bored. Oh my goodness, this is moving too much. And remember, the teacher is the example. The teacher always has to have a book. Okay, and let me check this one. Yeah. So this one is the same, like I told you before, the ABC. Here I present the student, the instructions by using charter picks.
Hola, soy el lápiz. Escribir es divertido. Escribe una historia con las palabras de agosto. Primero, da clic en el video para que escuches las palabras y repite.
Etcétera, etcétera. They have to click here and they will listen to me one more time saying the words. I give them the article, the correct article to each word, because sometimes they don't know if it is el, la, un, una. So I just help them. When they click on here, they know the article that they will be using according to each word. And finally, another way to promote reading and writing is the use of trabalenguas, tongue twisters. You can present them, you know, like the way I did it here. They have to click on the image and they will listen to me reading the tongue twister. Or maybe you can present it like this. You find it over the internet. They just have to click on the link and they will listen.
Pepe Pecas pica papas con un pico, Pepe Pecas pica papas. Pero para quienes no lo sepan decir bien, aquí vamos a aprender. Pepe Pecas pica papas con un pico.
Etcétera, etcétera. So the activity, they have to write their favorite tongue twister. They have 3 options. They choose one. And They love drawing, so I always let them draw. That's why I tell them and make a drawing, and they submit their work through CISO. Okay, so this is more or less, I'm sorry I was like very fast, but I didn't have like a lot of time, but you have the idea in general. Just, I don't know, just connect with me through Twitter, send me an email, and I will be more than happy to help you organize your virtual classroom, to promote reading and writing. So thank you so much. And well, so let me just finish with one of my favorite phrases from Stephen Krashen. So reading is the only way we become good readers. Develop a good writing style and adequate vocabulary, advanced grammatical competence, and the only way we become good spellers. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Marina. Before I dive into questions, were you able to go over the reading logs session? I think we still didn't, I think that's when you cut out, right? When you were going to talk about reading logs.
Yes, I show here. Let me go back here. Here, I show them an example of how they can create in Google Forms their reading.
Okay, so those Google Forms were your reading log examples.
Yes.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Well, Marina, there were so many questions that came in because people were just loving this and wanting to know how you did all of this. And so I'm sure people are going to be screenshotting your contact information and tagging you in discussion threads on the United We Teach community. But we have time for a few questions. So I'm going to pose some of these to you. And then participants, if your question doesn't get answered, I encourage you to connect with Marina in our discussion thread for the conference. So one question is, what advice do you have for readers who have problems with their eyes and reading on computers or taking online classes? So have you been able to make any accommodations for your students who can't spend as much time on screens?
Yes, I have, at the beginning, I've heard from different parents that they didn't want their children to be in front of the devices for a long time. So that's why I always create my activities with audio. So I include the words, but also they have the option to listen to it. So they choose how to do it. They can listen to me. That's why I always speak kind of slow. And for a Spanish speaker, it sounds like very slow, but for an English speaking person, it's like, okay, wow, very slower. So I always divide by syllables. I use my hands through Loom. Loom is one of the apps that I share with you. You can create so many things, and I also use something that is called iTube video. It is a little bit expensive, but I love it because I download all the videos that you saw. They are from YouTube, but I found out that sometimes when I just include them directly from YouTube, the students, when they click on them at home, it has different ads and all that. So I don't like that. I want them to be safe. So I bought this program. It's about $49, but I am using it very well. It is called iTube Video, and I download all the YouTube videos over there without ads, without anything. I record my voice. All those videos that you see, I can also extract just the audio. So it's a very good way for them, just to present the audio part. And I also offer them the option to have the activities printed. So the parents are able to go on a specific day during the week, and they just collect the papers.
Great.
Hey, can I ask, Marina, I asked this question yesterday. I actually explored with my Google Classroom last night. The hyperlink, it worked well. But I was asking the question, when I upload my emoji, it comes up with that clear background and it sits in the classroom like with that white background, and I don't know how to remove the background from the emoji itself.
Okay, you need to download your emoji into your computer, into your desktop, or a folder that you create, and you need to open a new tab and type remove BG, remove BG. Let me show you here so that you can take a look. And then you're going to remove all the backgrounds that you want to, and you will be able to put them into your classroom. Remove BG. Let me open a new tab so that you can see.
You still just walk past.
Remove. Remove BG here. So you click on this, remove BG. So it doesn't matter if you find an image with a background, you upload your image here, and immediately, like, look, I have all, well, I don't have a picture here, but it will send it to you without the background.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Marina, I'm going to ask maybe one or two more questions, and then I think the rest will need to move to the discussion thread. So one that came up multiple times was, where do you find the books that you're linking to? So you had those images and then you'd link to books. Where are you finding those?
Well, I find them in several places, like scholastic.com is one place. Scholastic.com. Many of them are recorded just by me. I just include the picture so that they know the book, but actually I am reading the book. But I use Scholastic, and just I type, you know, over the internet the title of the book, and I try to find like the best option for the students. I also use Raskits. If you are teaching Spanish, I have all the books in Spanish in a PDF that I always see. Well, yesterday in my virtual office, I show you how I present that to my parents. I usually create a link for them. They have access to Raskits in Spanish, but they have all the books in PDF. So if you teach Spanish, you can just get in touch with me and I can, you know, share with you all the reading levels that you can use also.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope that you have gotten Marina's information and plan to connect with her through email or Twitter or in our United We Teach community. I'm putting some links in the chat right now. If you're not a member of the community yet, I really encourage you to sign up. At the beginning of this call, a lot of people were asking questions about getting certificates or badges for your work during the summit, for your attendance during the summit. There's a link for a reflection that you can complete so that you can earn a badge within our United We Teach community. And there's also information about how you can get a certificate at the end of the summit with all of your learning hours. It won't list every single session that you attend, but it will list your total number of hours for your session. And then the summit discussion, I hope you've popped over there and added your comments and thoughts. That's a great place. I saw a lot of questions that have come up here that I think a lot of members of this community could help answer. So please feel free to post questions there if you're looking for resources or apps or tools. And if you know someone that could answer them, like Marina, you could tag her in that question and she'll get an alert and be able to respond. But you can also just pose that to everyone in the community. And then, you know, we still have 2 more days of learning, which is really exciting. So we have about 12 more sessions. I think it's, 11 sessions to go. So I hope that you will mark your calendars for those sessions in the coming days. And Marina, thank you so very much. It looks like we might be featuring you again soon in the United We Teach community with some tech tutorials, because everybody wants virtual classrooms that look like yours. So I have a feeling we're going to need to call on you again to share all of that with us. So
I'm very happy to share because it is really fun, and
it
well,
looks so fun.
if you visit my classroom, my real classroom, it looks like that. It's colorful, lots of visual aids. So yes, I would be very happy to help everyone.
Wonderful. Well, you know, this summit is our time to be really intensively learning together for a week straight, but that learning will not end after this summit. And so that is why it's so important to join our community so you can stay connected to all these wonderful educators. So thank you, Marina. Thank you all of the participants that have joined today. Go get some rest and take a break from your computer screens after you take our quick summit survey poll. And then we're so excited to log back on with you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. We hope you have a great evening.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank you so much. I love it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.